the dollar going into the machine. We shot it once from a wide shot, once from a close-up, because I'm going to cut on.
Anytime anybody has a media question, they run right to Mike, you know, and they always have, because he, again, knows more about media than anybody I've ever met.
You know, there wouldn't be a department if it wasn't for Mike. He created it, he promoted it, and he has turned it into what I observe is a fantastic program. I met Mike Petros back in the spring of 1984. I signed up for his, I forget what the name of the class was back then, something to do with media, but it was basically a video production class and what would become the video production class.
So, and I met Mike when I enrolled in one of his classes back in 1994 or 5, I think, I don't know. Anyway, might have been 1993. And I was just out of a battered women's shelter, and I was really scared. I loved media, wanted to work in media, but I wasn't sure if I could do it. And so I enrolled in this class just to see if I could even sort of do it. And I was so terrified at first that I almost, walking up the steps to the auditorium, I almost turned around and left because I was so scared. But I stayed and became a student worker for Mike. And first I started volunteering, and then I became a student worker for Mike, and learned a lot.
Mike is very responsible for the job that I have now, working for the college. I was taking his class, and I had an assignment that I had a question on. And at that time, Mike was, I think it was it was only the second semester that he was teaching the class, and he was working in media service, as they called it then. It's now part of IT. And I wandered in to ask him about a project, and he asked me if I was doing anything, and I was interested in a job as a student worker in IT, or media services at the time. And I said, sure, that was interesting, and that job evolved to what I have today. So, you know, I'm forever indebted to Mike for that.
Mike started out in a cafeteria, kitchen on another campus. I can't remember the name of the campus, but that's where the media arts department started out, in this kitchen on another campus. And he slowly built it up over the years, and we've even gotten he got involved with the Visual Effects Society, and we were working with those folks and having a great time. We actually videotaped Dennis Murin getting his star on Hollywood Boulevard for the Visual Effects Society. We had a relationship with DreamWorks that Mike also engineered.
I remember in those early days, it was quite different than the classes now. The equipment was very meager and very heavy, I remember. But using what techniques we had at the time, I learned a lot. Basically, the equipment was kept in a closet outside of I think it was the physics classroom, and we'd have to wheel it out. There was a couple of what they would consider industrial grade cameras at the time, a simple switching box, and then for field use we would have to haul out this massive home VHS recorder attached to a camera that was, I don't know, a hefty camera.
Over the history, Mike just built the department up more and more, and I can't tell you how many students have gone through that program and absolutely loved it. They just loved it, learning. It was just a lot of fun, including myself. I still know Final Cut Pro. I still cut stuff in Final Cut Pro that I learned from the courses. I was actually here when we got our first computer. We were so excited about it. In the auditorium room 104, we had a cage for the media equipment to be checked out. We had a brand new Macintosh computer, and we had the old analog editing bays. So students would book time on these analog editing bays and cut their movies like that. It was fun. I learned a great deal and just absolutely loved it. And of course, Mike is an amazing teacher, and I don't think there's anybody that I know of that knows more about cameras and media than he does. He's a wonderful person, a very nice guy too, just a wonderful saint of a man.
Mike is a mensch. He's one of the kindest people I've ever met, and he's always been very helpful toward his students, and he's been a great teacher.
He made a difference in my life. If he hadn't hired me for the student worker job, I don't know what would have happened to me. I mean, it's changed my life in so many ways. I have 4 degrees now. That wouldn't have happened if I hadn't started working as a student worker here. So I will be forever indebted to Mike. He's a wonderful guy, just a sweetheart.
Thanks, Mike. You so deserve this reward.
So thanks, Mike.